encouraging starts to the new campaign, but on the night, one was to provide an emphatic win.
It's been over 3 years since Jason Byrne left the Carlisle grounds for pastures new at Tonka Park, but Friday's game marked his first competitive outing against his former club, for whom he plundered 64 goals in 159 appearances. Before kick-off, a 2-minute silence was observed as a mark of respect for the death of Michael Moore, a lifelong Shell supporter and owner of the Reds shop at Tonka Park. Only 3 points separated the sides before kick-off, but the gulf in class between the champions and Bray's part-time outfit was evident from the off, as the visitors were pressed back into their own half. Less than 5 minutes had elapsed when Richie Baker stooped to head his side in front from Crowley's in-swinging corner. Not noted for his headed goals, Baker made the most of absent marking to beat O'Connor between the Bray posts. A succession of assaults on the visitors' goal followed as Shells looked to extend their lead. A defensive lapse from Paul O'Reilly presented Bobby Ryan with an opportunity, who perhaps should have done better. Jason Byrne was the next to try his luck as the ball sat up invitingly for him, but a snapshot flashed narrowly over. The one-way traffic continued as O'Neary's cross from the right picked out Ryan, who was unable to steer his effort on target. Bray's opening chance of the game fell to Colm James, who tried his luck from distance, but Williams stretched well to tip his attempt around the post. Shelbourne continued to dictate, and further good work by the industrious Baker allowed him to tee up Stuart Byrne, whose shot was high and wide. The movement of Shell's front two continued to stretch the Bray defence, and Crow's flick sent Byrne bearing down on goal, but he couldn't find the requisite finish. The visitors were reeling, and Crow himself was the next to go close. Again, it was Baker's ball from the right which caused the problems, but Crow pulled his resulting effort past the post. But for all that pressure, Pat Fenlon's side were pegged back on the half-hour mark. A swift counter-attack saw Stephen Fox combine with Eamon Zaid, who unleashed an unstoppable drive beyond Williams. A sharp turn and finish from the Bray hitman, who collected his third goal of the campaign. Stunned by that, the hosts steamed forward to restore their advantage. Jason Byrne did well to meet Crowley's free kick, but under pressure he headed tamely wide. But Shelbourne would take a one-goal lead into the interval, the ball breaking kindly at the edge of the area for Wes Houlihan, who didn't hesitate to dispatch a low strike into the bottom left-hand corner. A neat finish from the 21-year-old. Chris O'Connor's cause not helped by a cruel bounce. Despite all the hard endeavour of the first half, the champions were almost caught cold for a second time within 2 minutes of the restart. Zaid again causing the problems, but slightly off balance he screwed his effort wide. That miss was to cost Bray dear, as their hopes of salvaging anything from the contest were ended in a frantic 3-minute spell. Jason Byrne was the architect of Baker's second, flicking the ball into the path of the winger, whose finish was emphatic. Great vision by Byrne to pick him out, and a stunning volley to boot from Baker. Byrne himself got in on the act moments later to steal a goal from the defensive vaults of his former side. An instinctive finish from the league's top scorer last term, but muted celebrations from the former Seagull. Not content to sit back, the home side continued to create openings, and Baker came close to completing his hat-trick, only to be denied by O'Connor. Shells could and should have been further out of sight, but for some missed clear-cut opportunities. Jamie Harris in particular guilty of some wayward finishing. To their credit, Bray continued to plug away at the other end, and Zaid felt he had pulled one back, only for an offside flank to curtail any celebrations. The Reds had one final chance to extend their winning margin. Byrne again escaping the attentions of Wesley Charles, only to rifle narrowly wide. A comfortable but businesslike performance for Pat Fenlon's side, who stretched their advantage to 3 points at the top of the table.
Who are in turn one clear